Hello, today I would like to begin our uh, lecture, discuss our first article about the advancements in drug delivery system in glioblastoma therapy from Mishra et al. This article is very recent, new, 2026. This presentation summarizes a review by Mishra focus on drug delivery is critical in glioblastoma therapy. The key focus is addressing biological decision-making process in drug delivery. What is glioblastoma? It's an aggressiveness, poor prognosis, and why it remains one of the most challenging brain tumors to treat. The median survival is 8 to 15 months. The survival, uh, 5 year survival is less than 7%, actually 7%, it's right, 10%, but it's less 7%. The major challenges is tumor heterogeneity, invasiveness, blood-brain barrier, and the drug resistance. And why it happens? The current standard therapies nowadays include maximal surgical resection, radiotherapy, temozolomide chemotherapy. Although surgery, radiotherapy, and temozolomide are standard survival, benefits remain limited because the limited efficacy due to poor blood-brain barrier penetration. And we will discuss next about the tumor-brain barrier and the other problems. So, we all discussed the first problem, clinical reality, and now the molecular drivers. EGFR means epidermal growth factor amplification, PI3K, phospholipid 3 kinase, AKT, protein kinase B, RAS, RAF, MAPK, uh, mitogen activates protein kinase, and NO notch, WNT, hedgehog pathways, all signaling promoting tumor cells invasion. RAS it's a part of downstream signaling cascade triggered by the activation of epidermal growth factor receptor. RAF stands for Rapid Accelerated Fibrosarcoma, which are serine threonine specific protein kinases. And not just it's more the barriers, not just blood-brain barrier, but also blood tumor barrier, high interstitial fluid pressure, and the presence of glioblastoma stem cells. Avoid the penetration of drugs in the tumor. So the key molecular pathways in glioblastoma include EGFR signaling, NFKB pathway, RAS, RAF, MAPK, PI3K, AKT, mTOR, and angiogenic pathways. PI3K phosphoinositide 3 kinase, AK3 protein kinase B, mTOR mammalian target of rapamycin. The blood-brain barrier, which means the gatekeeper, have structural challenges. Tight junction, Claudin, occludins, and the neurovascular unit astrocytes and pericytes. The efflux problem, the P-glycoprotein, PGP, and the breast cancer resisting protein, BCRP, actively pump out drugs like doxorubicin and paclitaxel. The FDA success, temozolomide, and the lomustine work because they are small than 400 Daltons and they are lipophilic. The objective now is moving beyond passive diffusion to active transport. The US Drug Administration (FDA) has approved 5 drugs to treat glioblastoma: lomustine, carmustine, bevacizumab, temozolomide, and vorasidenib, as these drug molecules are capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier. Previous published results showed that lomustine, carmustine, temozolomide, and vorasidenib cross the blood-brain barrier due to their lipophilic structure and passive diffusion. However, bevacizumab preferable penetrates the leaky blood-brain barrier in high-grade glioblastoma. In vitro studies showed excellent cytotoxic properties of paclitaxel and doxorubicin, called DOX, in the presence of glioblastoma cells, but in clinical settings, poor blood-brain barrier penetration reduces the therapeutic outcomes in glioblastoma patients. Both DOX and paclitaxel serve as substrate to multi-drug resistance efflux transports. So this efflux pump is a very more recent problem followed in the treatment of glioblastoma. So why new drug delivery system? The blood-brain barrier restricts most therapeutic agents. The non-specific toxicity of systemic therapy caused by the delivery system, and the need for a target controlled and localized delivery. They stress that the blood-brain barrier is the main obstacle to effective treatment and justify the need for novel delivery approach. Brain target drug delivery system, nanoparticles, hydrogels, liposomes, micelles, wafer implants, catheter implants, dendrimers, etc. will be discussed in this article. The first nanoparticle-based delivery system include liposomes, polymeric nanoparticles, metallic nanoparticles, which improve blood-brain barrier penetration and tumor accumulation, and enable to control and sustain drug release. So, in this we explain how nanoparticles improve solubility, target, and blood-brain barrier penetration. I can give examples such as liposomes and polymeric nanoparticles. Liposomes and micelles enhance solubility of hydrophobic drugs. Pegylation to evade the mononuclear phagocyte system. It explains how nanoparticles improve solubility targeting and blood-brain barrier penetration. Other nanotechnology and target delivery platforms include dendrimers, extracellular vesicles, gold iron oxide. In blue, we are explaining about dendrimers. It's a highly branched monodisperse structure allowing for high drug loading and multivalence targeting. The extras in green, extracellular vesicles, utilizing nature's delivery system for low immunogenicity and innate blood-brain barrier crossing capabilities. Gold iron oxide nanoparticles enable theranostics, include therapy plus diagnostic and thermotherapy. And other options include localized deliveries circumventing the blood-brain barrier because of this local action. Example is hydrogels and wafer implants. Example, gliadel wafers, which sustained release at the resection cavity to target residual infiltrative cells. Other is microneedles and catheter implants bypassing the blood-brain barrier via convection enhanced delivery to create a pressure gradient for deeper tissue penetration. So what's the focus point? Reducing systemic toxicity while achieving high local concentration. The hydrogel and the other local delivery system can be implanted or injectable hydrogels, localized drug release after tumor resection, and by this reduce systemic toxicity. The extracellular vesicle and exosomes are natural carriers with high biocompatibility, efficient to cross blood-brain barrier, and is a potential for personalized therapy. So in this way, they promising due to natural blood-brain barrier penetration and biocompatibility. Other emerging platforms include microneedles, convection enhanced delivery, stimuli-responsive delivery system. This brief introduces others approach like microneedles and convection enhanced delivery, highlight innovation in administration routes. We have preclinical outcomes in this finding. Enhanced tumor targeting, better tumor targeting, controlled release, and survival benefits in animal models. Improve survival in animal models, reduce off-target effects, or it means systemic effects of these drugs. But we have translational challenges. The first one, the lab to clinic gap. Preclinical success in mice versus human heterogeneous. They point out the key barriers to clinical translation, including manufacturing tumor heterogeneity, immune effects, and safety concerns. The abbreviation example GRACHA translates for example. Manufacturing scalability of complex multifunctional nanoparticles. The future system-level design principle. We must treat drug delivery not as a parcel service, but a complex biological a decision-making process. Other challenge is off-target effect and immunomodulation and to macrophage induction. In the future perspectives, we discuss how these therapies may combine nanotechnology, molecular biology, and personalized medicine for better outcomes. In integration of nanotechnology and molecular biology, personalized and combination therapy, system-level design of drug delivery platforms. The molecular taxonomy of glioblastoma, its age status and clonal evolution. The IDH landmark is the fundamental divergence in glioblastoma pathology. IDH wild type, which means grade 4, certonymous with primary glioblastoma develops de novo typically in older adults, characterized by EGFR amplification and PTAN loss. IDH mutant, characteristic of secondary glioblastoma, evolves from lower grade astrocytomes associated with TP53 mutation and distinct CIMP, CpG Island methylator phenotype. The next we will explain how the methylation change the prognosis. Chromosome 10 loss of heterogeneity observed in 60 to 90% of cases, primary, impacting the PTAN locus, leading to unchecked PI3K signaling. The pediatric shift, emphasis of the AG3K27 mutation in midline gliomas, representing a distinct epigenetic landscape compared to adult supratentorial glioblastoma. EGFR and EGFR8, the engine of invasion. The activation mutation in tyrosine kinase receptor EGFR PDGFR resulting in always-on signaling independent of ligand binding. EGFR8, the deletion mutant, a tumor-specific extracellular domain deletion. Signaling synergy coordinates with SRC family kinases and CMYC to drive metabolic adaptation and angiogenesis. The delivery challenge EGFR8 is highly heterogeneous within a single tumor. Targeting is the required delivery system that can address mosaic expression patterns. In the downstream convergence integration, the RAS, RAF, MEK, ERK axis invasion mitosis and the PI3K, AKT mTOR axis, survival metabolism. So the next figure highlights the roles of EGFR signaling, which promotes the invasion, angiogenesis, growth, and survival glioblastoma. In glioblastoma, a loss of heterogeneity has been marked in 60 to 90% of cases in the long arm of chromosome 10. You can see the EGFR receptor, EGFR8 receptor, driving oncogenesis signaling pathways regulating glioblastoma growth, survival, invasion, and angiogenesis. Schematic representation of EGFR and mutant EGFR8 signaling in glioblastoma activation of EGFR, which triggers downstream RAS, RAF, MEK, ERK, signaling promoting tumor invasion, tumor cell invasion, while parallel activation the PI3K, AKT, mTOR axis drive transcriptional programs that support tumor growth and survival. Loss of or inactivation of the tumor suppressor NF1 and PTIN further amplify these pathways and relieving inhibitory constraints on RAS and PI3K signaling, respectively. EGFR8 signaling additionally engages the SRC family kinases and oncogenic transcriptional regulators, include MIC and NF-κ-beta, thereby enhancing pro-angiogenic signaling and tumor vascularization. Collectively, these interconnected pathways illustrate how aberrant EGFR signaling coordinates invasive behavior, metabolic adaptation, and survival, and angiogenesis in glioblastoma. Broad lines indicating inhibitory interaction, while solid arrows denote pathway activation or signal propagation. NF-κ-beta, STAT3, feed forward loop. Inflammatory hyperactivation in glioblastoma develop an anomalous activation and prolonged hyperactivation, NF-κ-beta, signaling facilitation oncogenesis by tumor growth invasion and obstructs apoptosis. The glioblastoma exploits the TME through pro-tumoral cytokines like TNF-alpha and IL-6. The feedback loop TNF-alpha activates NF-κB, which translocates the nucleus. NF-κB induces IL-6 expression. IL-6 activates STAT3 via the PI3K, AKT, EZH2 axis. Functional outcomes. The convergence sustains glioma stem cell-like cells, GSC, providing a reservoir for therapeutic resistant and post-surgical recurrence. Therapeutic windows nanocarriers delivering dual decoy oligonucleotides or siRNA against NF-κB STAT3 could disrupt this self-renewal circuit. This cytokine-driven NF-κB and STAT signaling networks promoting glioblastoma self-renewal and therapeutic resistance. Schematic representation of inflammatory cytokine signaling in glioblastoma highlighting the coordinated roles of TNF-alpha and IL-6 in sustaining oncogenic transcriptional programs. TNF-alpha receptor engagement activates NF-κ-beta signaling, leading to phosphorylation and nuclear translocation of NF-κ-beta, where it induces expression of pro-inflammatory and pro-survival genes, including IL-6, thereby establishing a feed-forward inflammatory loop. In parallel, IL-6 signaling activates PI3K AKT pathway, which cooperates with the epigenetic regulator EZH2 to promote phosphorylation and activation of STAT transcription factor. Nuclear convergence of NF-κB and STAT signaling supports transcriptional programs associated with glioma stem cells maintenance, self-renewal capacity, and resistance to chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Phosphorylation events are indicated by P symbols, and arrows denote signaling direct. So NF-κB with P means phosphorylated NF-κB. The epigenetic gatekeeping, MGMT, and DNA repair. The MGMT enzyme O6-methylguanine DNA methyltransferase acts as a suicide enzyme that reverses the alkylation caused by temozolomide. So it's an important MGMT is an important repair enzyme that protects the genome against the DNA damaging alkylating agents. MGMT promotes methylation as a bioswitch. Methylated MGMT is silenced, resulting in DNA repair inhibit and temozolomide sensitivity. With have unmethylated MGMT will be overexpressed. DNA repair will be active and it result in temozolomide resistance. Advanced delivery strategy. siRNA nanoparticle co-delivery using nanoparticles to deliver MGMT targeting siRNA to resensitize unmethylated tumors to temozolomide. LDL receptor targeting exploit WNT beta catenin inhibitor to modulate the DNA repair machinery. The other problem is the neurovascular evolution of glioblastoma. And the tumor progression in glioblastoma leads to the formation of another physiological barrier known as blood-tumor barrier, which disturbs the homeostasis of the brain, altered endothelial cells in the blood-tumor barrier, promotes non-uniform permeability around the tumor cells. Tumor progression progresses the blood vessels, resulting in leakage in the tumor area and simulating a heterogeneous microenvironment around the blood-tumor barrier. Activation of the hypoxia-inducible factor 1 alpha, HIF-1 alpha, signaling pathways in the tumor co-upregulates vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF, to promote angiogenesis. So in the first stage, stage 1, co-option tumor hijack, existing vasculature astrocytes provides metabolic support. Neurons begin experiencing nutrient death. Stage 2, invasion and hypoxia. Tumor cells invade the basement membrane. The release a pro-invasive factor by reactive astrocytes promotes extracellular matrix remodeling. Stage 3, blood-brain barrier breakdown. Massive angiogenesis, GEGF-driven, leads to leak but dysfunctional vessels. Our clinical paradox, while blood-brain barrier is broken here, high interstitial fluid pressures create a physical barrier that prevents nanomedicines from penetrating the tumor core. You can see the tumor microenvironment driving barriers that limit therapeutic efficacy in glioblastoma. Schematic is a representation of the major cellular, vascular, and immunological challenges imposed by the glioblastoma tumor microenvironment. Glioblastoma progression is associated with profound neuroinflammation characterized by infiltration of immune cells and secretion of soluble inflammatory mediators that promote tumor growth and immune dysfunction. Abnormal and dysfunctional tumor vasculature led to vascular compression, impaired perfusion, and heterogeneous oxygen and nutrient distribution, further exacerbating hypoxia and therapeutic resistance. The tumor microenvironment actively drives immunomodulation, including polarization and macrophages from pro-inflammatory M1 phenotype toward the immunosuppressive M2 phenotype, thereby facilitating immune evasion. Concurrently, tumor-induced vascularization supports sustained growth while remaining structurally and functionally abnormal. Glioblastoma cells also upregulate efflux transport, limiting intracellular drug accumulation and reducing the efficacy of chemotherapeutic agents. Interaction among tumor cells, astrocytes, immune cells, endothelial cells, and extracellular matrix components collectively shape a dynamic and heterogeneous microenvironment that promotes glioblastoma development, progression, and resistance to therapy. Symbols denotes distinct cellular population, vascular structures, extracellular matrix elements, and soluble factors contributing to microenvironmental complexity. So, based in how difficult to treat glioblastoma, the author discuss drug delivery system for glioblastoma treatment. A limitation of conventional therapeutic agents versus the functional advantages and of advanced drug delivery platforms in glioblastoma treatment. Comparative advances of novel drug delivery system over conventional therapeutic strategies in glioblastoma. Schematic comparison illustrating the limitation of conventional chemotherapeutic agents versus the functional advantages of advanced drug delivery platforms in glioblastoma treatment. Conventional drugs often inhibit poor blood-brain barrier penetration, limited intratumoral distribution, low stability, and dose-limiting systemic toxicity due to non-specific absorption, metabolism, and excretion. In contrast, novel drug delivery systems, including nanoparticles, liposomes, polymeric carriers, and implantable platforms, are engineered to enhance blood-brain barrier penetration and the tumor targeting through mechanisms such as receptor-mediated endocytosis (RME) and controlled release. This system improves drug stability, prolongs circulation time, facilitates selective accumulation at the tumor site, and reduces off-target effects by enabling efficient transvascular transport, intracellular uptake, and sustained local drug availability. Advanced delivery strategies overcome the key pharmacokinetics and biological barriers associated with conventional therapies. Collectively, this comparison highlights how rationally designed delivery systems improve therapeutic precision and efficacy in glioblastoma by integrating transport optimization with tumor-specific targeting mechanisms. Surface functionalization AGA modified PLGA target CD44 receptor overexpressed in glioblastoma, while C1-C2 peptide enhanced U87MG cell-specific binding. Metallic and thermoresponsive nanoparticles. Gold nanoparticles, iron oxide nanoparticles enable theranostics. Under NIR, or near-infrared light radiation, 708 nanometers gold nanoparticles facilitate photothermal drug release. Radiosensitization, copper oxide and cerium oxide nanoparticles stabilize the tumor environment, enhancing X-ray efficacy and decreasing clonogenic survival. The M2 shift risk, a critical doctoral level concern. Nanoparticles may be phagocytosed by macrophage inadvertently, triggering an M2 pro-tumor phenotype shifts. Hydrogel. The investigator, the three ECM mimic cross-linked matrices, chitosan gelatin alginates that provide mechanical support and localized drugs. The post-surgical sequestration hydrogels, sodium alginate genipin, implanted in the resection cavity can trap and kill residual invasive cells. Dual stimuli response, ROS sensitivity, ROS means reactive oxygen species, exploits a high oxidative stress of the post-surgical cavity. Thermal responsiveness, Pluronic F127 chitosan blends that undergo a phase transition at body temperature for in situ gelation. Biological integration using hydrogel to deliver Clostridia spores to create an active immune environment in hypoxia zones. The investigators have encapsulated bis-chloroethyl nitrosourea and temozolomide within ROS-sensitive PLGA nanoparticles and subsequently integrated this entire construct into thermoresponsive hydrogels formulated from chitosan, gelatin, and beta-glycerolphosphate. After the resection, over 90% of the glioblastoma tissue, the dual sensitive hydrogel drug delivery system was administered into the surgical cavity. The median survival duration of the experimental groups treated with the hydrogel system significantly increased compared to the untreated negative control group. We have this table highlights some of hydrogel formulation used to treat glioblastoma. Example, Pluronic F127 and AGA, which carry doxorubicin, and in the observation, radiation-triggered drug release, drug retention enhanced. Other dextran and collagen hydrogel, mesoporous, polydopamine nanoparticle, which drive temozolomide to enhanced intratumoral retention, apoptosis induction, and overcomes temozolomide resistance. And the other one, oxidized light amide starch, silks fibrin hydrogel and lipid and nanoparticles combination, exomes, oncolytic virus, microbubbles via low intensity focused ultrasound, self-assembling micelles, peptide oligonucleotide composite nanotubes. Explain that extracellular vesicles secreted by numerous cell types such as cancer cells lines, mesenchymal stem cells, and neural stem cells can be classified as exomes, ectosomes, and apoptotic bodies. The extracellular vesicles versus exomes and exosomes. Its extracellular vesicles are natural nano-sized lipid particles secreted by numerous cell types including mesenchymal stem cells, neural stem cells, and various cancer cell lines. These vesicles are generally classified into three categories: exosomes, ectosomes, and apoptotic bodies. Within these groups, Exosomes, which ranges in size from 30 to 150 nanometers, have been the most comprehensive study for glioblastoma treatment. Their therapeutic appeal stems from their superior drug loading efficacy, high biocompatibility, and inherent ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. The therapeutic application in glioblastoma of exosomes are utilized in several innovative ways to overcome the limitation of traditional glioblastoma therapy. Enhanced drug delivery, exosomes can restore the chemosensitivity in glioma tissues and deliver potent drugs that normally cannot reach the brain. For example, encapsulation rapamycin and exosomes enables it to penetrate blood-brain barrier, where it can decrease angiogenesis and induce cell cycle arrest. The antibody transport, while the antibody drug bevacizumab typically has poor blood-brain barrier penetration, loading into glioma delivers exosomes allows it to reach the tumor site and induce apoptosis. Targeting specificity. Exosomes delivers from glioblastoma cells such as U87MG share biological features with their parent cells, which can enhance their tumor targeting efficiency. Vaccine platforms. Homologous exosomes delivers from glioblastoma's tumor cells can act as vaccines that activate the innate immune system, increasing the expression of tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleucin 6, and interferon gamma without the needed complex antigen loading. The advanced engineered strategy to further improve their effectiveness, researchers are employing genetic engineering and nanotechnology, surface modification. Exosomes can be engineered to present specificity antibodies such as EGFR8 or be conjugated with RNA aptamers like CD133 to target aggressive glioblastoma stem cells. Hybrid system new strategy combine exosomes with other materials such as zinc sulfide-based coating for better blood-brain barrier permeability or magnetic nanoparticles to trigger ferroptosis oxidative cells death. Challenges and limitations. Despite this potential, several obstacles hinder the clinical translation of exome therapies. Other, purity and isolation. It is currently difficult to isolate pure exosome without contamination from microvesicles and apoptotic bodies. The scalability is the other challenge. The large-scale production of exosomes remains a significant challenge for clinical application, and heterogeneity, variation in size, shape, and origin of exosomes can lead to inconsistent therapeutic efficacy, which complicates standardized treatment. Important here, remember the antibody bevacizumab, loading bevacizumab into exosomes to overcome its poor native blood-brain barrier penetration. The microneedles and advanced implants. The dissolving microneedles The route intranasal transdermal delivery to bypass the hepatic fast pair metabolism, because orally administered anti-cancer drugs go through the hepatic first pass metabolism and enzymatic degradation causing by limited blood-brain barrier penetration and poor bioavailability similarly. The parental routes in the administration require high cost and trained medical personnel with lower brain target efficiency. On the other hand, the intranasal route faces challenges due to low drug volume, nasal irritation, and mucociliary clearance. The synergy combined delivery temozolomide and SI-PLCG1 to downregulate STAT3 signaling. PROTAC integration using MNs to deliver PROTAC proteolysis targeting chimera nanoparticles for selective degradation of BRD4 proteins. Wafers and electronic patches can be used. Example is Gliadel's Carmustine, the FDA standard, fault limited by sterility and protein corona formation. Wireless electronic patches, bioresorbable devices that use thermal stimulation to trigger drug release from reservoir. Convention enhanced delivery catheter pump system that bypass diffusion by creating a positive pressure gradient. Topotecan delivery. For example, a silk fibrin-based microneedle patch loaded with temozolomide and bevacizumab enhanced apoptosis and limited angiogenesis. The comparative analysis of advanced platforms. The platforms, metallic nanoparticles, hydrogel exomes, microneedles, and said. The primary advance of metallic nanoparticles. Thermal radiosensitization. The main translational bottleneck is long-term organ accumulation and toxicity. Hydrogel, localized surgical cavity control, the primary advantage, and the main translational bottleneck is quality control in large-scale synthesis. For exosomes, the primary advantage, innate blood-brain barrier permeability. The main translation bottleneck, heterogeneity and isolation purity. Microneedle, the primary advantage is bypassing first pair metabolism. The translational bottleneck, maintaining the microchannel integrity. Convention enhanced delivery. Overcoming high interstitial pressure. The main translational bottleneck include catheter backflow and uneven distribution. Convention enhanced delivery and nanosynergy. The mechanism continuous microinfusion via intracranial catheters, unlike passive diffusion, convention enhanced delivery, utilize a pressure gradient to achieve bulk flow throughout the interstitial space. Overcome resistance, nanoantennas. TPP conjugated polyglutathione nanoparticles delivered via SED to mitochondria, generating ROS and activation dendritic cells. TMZ resistant CED of nanodiamonds or oxaliplatin prodrug nanoparticles bypasses the efflux pumps that typically defeat systemic TMZ. Immunomodulation CED of DNA nanocarriers with RP182 peptides specifically targets and reprograms M2 macrophage into the anti-tumor M1 phenotype. The backflow challenge infusate leaking along the catheter tract rather than penetrating the tissue requires image-guided placement to ensure optimal pressure distribution. Fox ultrasound and the microbubble oscillation. The Fox ultrasound is a non-invasive energy delivery method that can deliver acoustic waves into the target tissue. Rapid advancement in Fox ultrasound enables to precise modification of TME and facilitates blood-brain barrier opening through acoustic waves. Fox ultrasound microbubble mediation produce a 4-fold increase in drug delivery compared to unsonicated animals. Industrially produced microbubbles may cause cytotoxicity, resulting in immune rejection. Therefore, microbubbles produced from cerebral microvessel cells could mitigate these concerns. Building on this concept, iron oxide was coupled with DOX embedded in biomimetic microbubbles extracted from cerebral macrovessel cells. This formulation inhibited an excellent stability and anti-tumor activity in orthotopic glioblastoma mice. In the context of source 180 kilopascals refers to the specific amount of ultrasound pressure used in a Fox's ultrasound. Strategy to safe and reversible open the blood-brain barrier. The clinical limit tumor heterogeneity causing constant acoustic response, requiring patients specific phase correction. The intranasal delivery, the olfactory and the trigeminal bypass. The intranasal delivery approach is another key method to bypass the blood-brain barrier and reduce systemic toxicity. In this method, olfactory nerve and the trigeminal pathways can be used to deliver the drug molecules to the central nervous system. Recently, this approach was employed to target EGFR8 overexpression glioblastoma. Researchers synthesized DOX, rubicin-loaded CAR extracellular vesicle mimetic formulation from monocytes. Temozolomide integrate gold nanoparticles were functionalized with an antibody to target ephrin type A receptor 3. The anatomical advantage is direct accessing the central nervous system via the olfactory nerve and the trigeminal pathways, bypassing both the blood-brain barrier and hepatic first-pass metabolism. Advanced mimetics, CAR-EV, monocyte delivery extracellular vesicle mimetics loaded with doxorubicin to target EGFR H overexpressing cells. Surface charge modulation using GB cell membranes to coat polyethylamine nanovesicles, reducing surface targets and enhancing plasmid DNA delivery. Pharmacokinetic superiority. Atorvastatin shows 2.7-fold increase in brain concentration via the intranasal route versus intravenous. Lomustine, liposome enhanced flux of permeability coefficients compared to standard suppressions. Bottlenecks, mucociliary clearance and limited volume capacity, less than 200 microliter per nostril. Bioresorbable electronics, or wireless patches. The temporal control patches made of PMMA, PLA, PLGA contain a drug reservoir and wireless electronic trigger. On-demand release, the application of wireless stimulation generates a controlled thermal effect below 42 Celsius degrees, which serve as a trigger for localized release of doxorubicin and other therapeutic payloads at the resection site. The advantage: minimize drug leakage into the cerebrospinal fluid, maintain the high local concentration while preventing systemic toxicity. The pressure versus concentration gradient. Why is CED potential superior to a standard gliadel wafers for an invasive tumor? The focus on bulk flow versus limited 1 to 3 mm diffusion range of wafers. The M1, M2 reprogramming, using RP182 peptide via CID. Discuss how this mechanical delivery is essential for reaching the immunosuppressive niche of the tumor. Safety and standards. How do we standardize full FUS across different skull thickness? Discuss the mention of acoustic aberration and the need for personalized optimization. The oncolytic viral therapy, immunomodulation. Convention, viral platform via convention enhanced delivery. Adenovirus Delta 24 RGD trial results end-to-end. Demonstrate safety via local administration K takeaway, IFN gamma, and TNF alpha emerged as a clinical biomarkers for evaluation local and inflammatory response. G47 delta herpes virus, triple mutated for safety, long-term survivors 46 months, suggested potential fault median OS remained modest. Recombinant polyorhinovirus exploded in pediatric young adult cohorts aged 4 to 21 via convention-enhanced delivery. Achieved safety clearance but low median OS, 41 months. The Relvir strategy, combination therapy via CSF and TMZ, achieved a median OS of 13.1 months, highlighting the synergy between viral oncolysis and systemic chemotherapy. The clinical trial include phenotypic, genotypic, and transcriptional heterogeneity in glioblastoma, make it difficult to design effective drug molecules that can target all grades of tumor. Additionally, the BBB serves as a barrier for several drug molecules to reach the tumor site. More phase 0 clinical trials can be designed to evaluate the BBB penetration efficacy of the drug molecules, considering patient stratification based on molecular tumor markers may help to achieve a higher median overall survival due to superior tumor targeting. Treatment: pembrolizumab, phase 1. The outcome is ongoing. The clinical identifier. We have a lot here. I won't read it. The drug purpose and the targeting, therapy failure. The antiviral and the antiparasite. Valganciclovir. Notable retrospective success patient receiving plus 6 months achieve 24.1 months. This suggests potential link between CMV like viral loads and GB progression. Mebendazole. Despite preclinical promise, phase 2 trial showed no significant benefits when combined with lomustine temozolomide, a checkpoint and anti-angiogenic paradox. Nivolumab, PD-1 inhibitor, phase 3 trial, failed to outperform bevacizumab, underscoring the profound T cells exhaustion characteristic of GB microenvironment. Olaparib, PARP, and cediranib, VEGFR, due to inhibition of DNA repair and angiogenesis showed no superiority over bevacizumab monotherapy. Take away, the redundancy in signaling pathways are discussed in slide 9, allows GB to bypass single or even dual node inhibitor. Apart from this using oncolytic virus drug repurposing signals, antivirals showed some promising results in clinical trials. A clinical trial examined median survival time when valganciclovir was used alongside standard care therapy in glioblastoma. Patients received more than 6 months of valganciclovir achieved 24.1 months of overall survival term. Furthermore, an extended retrospective study showed patients treated with more than 6 months of valganciclovir achieving 90% of survival rate at 2 years. A phase 1 clinical trial was designed to test the safety of neofenavir, an antiviral drug used to treat HIV/AIDS. In this study, 2 doses of neofenavir, 625 and 1,250 micrograms were orally administered prior to temozolomide dose and radiotherapy. These studies showed a 625 mg dose is well tolerated among the patients. The clinical application of using mebendazole and antiparasitic drug for treating recurrent glioblastoma were evaluated in phase 2 trial. In this study, mebendazole was administered with lomustine and temozolomide. The endpoint result showed no significant improvement in overall survival in recurrent glioblastoma. The anti-cancer activity of several target drugs such as bevacizumab, nivolumab, olaparib, and cediranib was evaluated in clinical trials in recurrent glioblastoma patients. Among these, bevacizumab is widely used to treat recurrent glioblastoma. Bevacizumab is a monoclonal antibody that targets VEGF, and it was approved by the US FDA in 2009. Overall, patient survival was tested in clinical trials to evaluate the efficacy of other target drugs versus bevacizumab. The efficacy of nivolumab, a programmed cell death one immune checkpoint inhibitor, was compared with bevacizumab in recurrent glioblastoma patients. Researchers conducted phase 3 trial in 369 patients and found that nivolumab therapy did not improve overall survival compared with bevacizumab. Similarly, the efficacy of olaparib and cediranib in GB patients was compared with bevacizumab. Olaparib is a poly-ADP ribose polymerase PARP inhibitor, and cediranib is a pan-vascular endothelial growth factor VEGF receptor inhibitor. A phase 2 trial was conducted between December 2017 and November 2018 in 70 patients with recurrent glioblastoma. Researchers combined olaparib and cediranib drugs to investigate the survival benefits of these drugs compared to bevacizumab monotherapy. There was no significant survival benefit perceived in patients treated with cediranib olaparib compared to patients treated with bevacizumab monotherapy. So the patch for the phase 0 and the patient stratification. The need for phase 0. We must design more windows of opportunity phase 0 trials to evaluate BBB penetration in humans before committing to phase 3. Despite remarkable technology progress, glioblastoma remains one of the most treatment refractory human malignancies, As a comprehensive review here, a wide spectrum of drug delivery platforms, including nanoparticle, hydrogels, extracellular vesicles, microneedles, implantable wafers, and convection-enhanced delivery systems, having been developed to overcome the blood-brain barrier and improve intratumoral drug accumulation. Yet, the limited clinical translation of this approach reveals a fundamental disconnect between delivery engineer and tumor biology. Most strategies successfully answer the question of the how delivered drugs, but insufficient address how tumor cells interpret and respond of sustained or localized therapeutic stress. Doctoral discussion points. The survival gap. Why did the DC vaccine reach 38.5 months while other failed? Discuss the importance of multivalent antigen targeting. Repurposing versus de novo. Is a drug repurposing, delfinavir, mebendazole, a viable long-term strategy, or does the blood-brain barrier necessitate entirely new chemical entities? Future design. How can we integrate AI-driven patient stratification with the nano-delivery system we discussed to improve these clinical outcomes? The bench to beside chasm. The model mismatch preclinical study used immunodeficient mice and rapidly growing orthotophic models. WICS. Human glioblastoma is a spontaneous immune interactive process, months to years, in patients with varying ages, diets, and prior treatments. The delivery versus response gap. The efficiency drug delivery does not inherently guarantee therapeutic efficacy or tumor eradication. High drug exposure can inadvertently trigger cytoprotective programs, autophagy, DNA damage tolerance, and metabolic reprogramming. Heterogeneity and the efflux wall mosaic expression of a receptor means a single ligand nanoparticles will always leave escaped clones. Overexpression of MDR pumps are the blood tumor barrier and on the tumor cells themselves create a one-way street out of the cell. Delivery as a biological decision-making process. The shift. Stop treating the tumor as a passive target and start treating it as an active decision network. Logic-gated nanocarriers and gates. Systems that release cargo only when multiple conditions are met, acidic pH and hypoxia. This ensures the payload, like CRISPR gene editing, is only active in tumor niche, sparing healthy tissue. Synthetic biology integration. Antibody pairs target killing only occurs when two distinct antigens are co-recognized. Closed loop control, Fox ultrasound, triggered CIAR T cells, where an external stimulus acts as a heat-sensitive switch for localized activation. Traditional drug delivery often treats the tumor as a passive target, but emerging strategies reframe it as an active decision network. Delivery systems can be designed to interact with cellular signaling and decision, for instance, logic-gated nanocarriers that release drug only when multiple tumor-specific conditions are met. Co-option tumor stress response. Target autophagy GB cells are used autophagy to eat damaged parts and survive chemostress. Strategy: legumin active NPs co-delivering doxorubicin and hydroxychloroquine autophagy inhibitor to block the escape route. Exploiting ferroptosis, an iron-dependent oxidative death pathway that GB is naturally vulnerable to. Strategy: the macrophage cloaked nanoparticle designed to cause catastrophic mitochondrial damage. Reversing T cells exhaustion, addressing the checkpoint wall, DP1, TIM3, LAG3 by packaging inhibitors directing into the delivery vehicle to revitalize the TME. Glioblastoma, aggressive resilience, arising in part from its stress adaptive pathways. Mechanisms like autophagy, ferroptosis resistance, and T cell exhaustion help tumor survival therapy. Cutting-edge delivery strategies now aim to co-opt or counteract this response. For example, autophagy is a pro-survival response to therapy-induced stress that can undermine drug efficacy. Run et al. Tackled this by co-delivering dox with hydroxychloroquine and autophagy inhibitor in a legutamine-activated nanoparticle, while also combining it with anti-PD-L1 immunotherapy. This multiplexed approach blocked the GB cells autophagy, based drug escape and immune evasion, yielding enhanced tumor cell killing in vivo. Similar ferroptosis iron-dependent oxidative cell death is a vulnerable in GB that can be therapeutic exploited. Cohn et al. Designed biomimetic macrophage cloaked nanoparticle that induce ferroptosis by GB by causing catastrophic mitochondrial damage. This triggered the cell death pathways, overcoming certain drug resistance, and can synergize with the immune attack. Notable stress pathways and immune intersect. Wang et al. Showed that CD8 plus T cells drive ferroptosis and cancer during immunotherapy. System level and adaptive design principles. Machine learning in nanodesign, analyzing data from hundreds of studies from Mendes et al. To identify and designing rules. Real-time adaptivity engineer carries with built-in sensor that adjust drug release based on real-time redox state or enzymatic activity of the evolving tumor. Defining nanoparticle shapes and the therapy modality are high predictors of efficacy than simple size or charge. Personalized neoantigen vaccination, integrating RNA exome sequences with MADC modeling to rank patient-specific antigen for a custom-made vaccine platform. To surmount GB complexity, researchers are adopting system-level design principles, viewing the tumor and the treatment as an integrated adaptive system. This includes leveraging big data and machine learning to inform nanoparticle designs. In a recent study, Mendes et al. Assembled data from 745 cancer nanomedicine studies and used explainable machine learning to identify design rules. For instance, nanoparticle shapes and therapy modality emerged as a key determinants of in vivo efficacy. Such analyses guide more holistic optimization for delivery vesicles beyond trials and errors, ensure they are tuned to the tumor's system biology. Another emerging principle is real-time adaptivity. Therapies can be engineered to respond to the evolving tumor microenvironment or external controls. For example, Wu et al. Created CRR T cells with a heat-sensitive switch so that focuses ultrasound triggers local CART activation on demand. This kind of closed-loop control using an external stimulus or internal biosensor feedback exemplifies adaptive delivery, maximizing on-tumor effect while sparing healthy tissue. Similarly, delivery platforms are being developed with built-in sensor, pH, enzymes, etc., that continue to sense and adjust drug release in response to tumor signals. By integrating system biology, computational modeling, and adaptive feedback mechanism, next generation GB drug delivery system aim to dynamically sharpen treatment response amidst heterogeneity and changing tumor states. Conclusion. Conclude by reinforcing the advanced drug delivery is key to improving glioblastoma therapy. Promising preclinical results, clinical translational remains the major hurdle. Thank you very much. It's all for today. It's our first article to discuss in a series. I wish your comments in the presentation. Okay?